What do you do when you have imposter syndrome as a business owner, as an entrepreneur, as a leader? What do you do when you have that moment where you think to yourself, what the hell am I doing? This isn't me. This is someone different. I'm not meant for this. This is never going to work. I am an imposter. What do you do with that? Well, it's a great question. And it's a question that I was asked recently by one of my coaching clients. And I thought to myself, what an apropos question, because I'm literally going through that same thing right now. Full transparency. Here's how crazy life is. I have done over $40 million in online sales in the last 10 years. I have been able to build multiple seven figure companies. I'm an award winning speaker. I'm a best selling author, blah, 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 blah. And even I face imposter syndrome. In fact, it's happening kind of right now. We're getting ready to host our biggest event ever. It's called the Six Pillars to Seven Figures Conference here in Dallas, Texas. In fact, you can learn about that if you go to six.unbrokenbsg.com, like Unbroken Business Support Group. There's a link in the show notes and all that stuff. And I'm having a conversation with my best friend. If you don't know Damon Burton, I highly recommend that you meet Damon Burton in some capacity. And I'm talking with two other great friends, Jimmy Hayes Nelson and Brian Galkey. And I'm sitting here having these conversations with these guys, and I'm having this moment of what the hell am I doing? I'm hosting this massive event in person, online. We got all this money on the line, all these people coming in, trying to sell tickets, trying to just operate and do all the things, plus run the day-to-day business. And I had this moment where I was like, maybe I shouldn't do this. It was crazy because I've done huge things. I've been on billboards in Times Square. I've traveled the world. I've been on stages in front of 10,000 people. And I was like, what am I doing? Like literally I had this like existential crisis moment. And sometimes you need to remember, and I needed this the other day, you need to remember that you're capable of doing hard things. And that's really what I think imposter syndrome does, is it forces us into this position of recognizing that we have to do hard things. We have to do scary things. We have to do things that as we're doing them, we're like, what am I doing? Am I out of my mind? And we have to see it through. We have to cross the finish line. I don't think that you ever become proficient in anything to a level of any level of confidence until you've done it once. Because one time tells you you're capable. Two times is where you really start to build momentum. By the time you do it 500 times, well, now it's second nature. You know, I look at that like Think Unbroken podcast or coaching or writing books. I've done those things so many times, they come natural. That's why being on the mic with you in front of camera here, it's so natural to me. I can do this in my sleep. But putting a room of people together for the first time in 5 years, man, that's like, what am I doing? And in a different space with entrepreneurs and business owners and leaders, what am I doing with trying to organize sponsorships and ads and advertising and organize a day? And what am I doing? And the whole time I'm sitting here thinking to myself, well, I'm doing the thing I said I was going to do. You want to solve imposter syndrome as an entrepreneur or a leader or a business owner? If you want to solve imposter syndrome, you do one thing. You do the thing you say you're going to do. And what's really interesting about that, it's going to require you to grow and to stretch, right? There's something that I've learned over the years as being a business owner, that the only way you ever discover your capacity is you have to do things that scare you, and you have to do things that make you sit in moments of massive discomfort so that you can create something gigantic. Because if you're always in your little box, the business won't grow, the team won't grow, the offer won't grow, nothing changes because you're always in this little box. You're in this little world that you decide that you live in that's safe and comfortable. And safe and comfortable is where I promise you your dreams are going to die in business. Because the second you get safe and comfortable, you start to flatline. And in business, you're either up or you're down. There is no in between. And flatline is such a lie. When people are like, oh, we did the same numbers we did last month, I'm like, well, you actually lost. We have inflation, we have churn, we have all of the things about overhead, we have everything happening in our businesses. And it's like, if you stay flat, you lose. If you're not growing, you are not winning in business. And one of the things that's required to continue to grow in business is you have to put yourself in a position of doing things that scare the crap out of you. There's just no way around it. And so I'm putting together this event, the 6 Pillars to 7 Figures conference, and I'm meeting people and shaking hands and networking and asking for help. And I'm coming up to people I don't know who don't know me. And I'm saying, hey, can we parlay? Can I get your assistance? Can we do this together? Right. And it's like constantly this battle of trying to navigate and figure out how to make something come to life. And here's the hard part, because as Tom Bilyeu says, the struggle is guaranteed, the success is not. I could put in all this work, and 2 months from now, I could be in a room of 3 people because it didn't work. And that's reality. And that's how it happens. And sometimes you're in this position where you're like, I can do all this stuff, and maybe nobody comes. Maybe nobody comes. Sorry. That's how it's going to be sometimes. But then you're faced with this thing. Well, do you quit or do you keep going? And I'm such a huge proponent of the keep going. Because guess what? The imposter syndrome doesn't go away until you prove that you are capable of doing the thing that you said you were going to do. And I think what's so difficult about that is that it's a trial by fire. Every single day you're in this, you're like, I have to show up. I have to prove that I can do this. I have to lead myself to be the person that I think I'm capable of being. And the thing about all of this, it's all in your head. You know, that moment where you sit down, you're like, I'm supposed to write the email copy, and you watch YouTube for 45 fucking minutes about writing email copy. You already know what to do. It's the moments where you're like, I need to post a video on social media, and you don't do it because you're terrified. What if I look stupid? Who cares? Just do it. Like, you want to get rid of imposter syndrome? Nike's slogan should be, if you want to get rid of imposter syndrome, just do it. Because here's the thing, what starts to happen is the more that you show up and the more that you execute, the more that belief becomes reality. Here's the thing, people get stuck. This is where I believe people get stuck the most in this. Because I had this moment, and I mean this, and I was in the shower and I was just like, why am I doing this? I already have built so much. I don't have to do this. And I was like, well, because I want to be of service to people. And I realized that the imposter syndrome went away immediately once I just started taking more action. Once I started asking for more help, it just went away. Right. And it'll come back because we're 60 days from this event. It will come back. I promise you. Sunday afternoon, I'm going to be chilling, hanging out, working on a project. And then I'm going to be like, oh my God, what am I doing? And then I'm going to take an action that pulls me forward. And I think that it is literally the action that breaks whatever it is that is in our mindset about us being incapable of executing at a high level. You have to understand that this is not like motivation. I don't know how to phrase this differently. I've coached over 3,000 people. We've had millions of people listen to my other show. Motivation is not a thing. It's just not. Motivation will not change your life. It'll get you started, but when it's 11 o'clock at night and you're exhausted because you just worked the 7th day in a row for 14 hours and you're asking yourself, what the hell are you doing? You don't have to do this. It's not motivation that's going to get you up at 6 a.m. the next day to do it again. It's the mission. And so I set out on this mission. I thought to myself, well, what is Unbroken Business Support Group? Why does it exist? And I thought to myself, this is the thing that I needed when I was building my business the first time. You go back to 24-year-old me, and I started entrepreneurship relatively young. I think we see this group of people starting entrepreneurship in their 30s and 40s and 50s now. And I started super young, and I struggled for years until I got a mentor. And my first mentor, this amazing dude, Sal Sankata, I met him for the first time. I was 24 years old. A day with that dude changed my life. Changed the trajectory, changed everything. It helped me understand business at a different level. And the reason why is because I got to learn from someone who had done the thing I was trying to do. And even in the beginning of that, like showing up and trying to build my first business, I was marred. That's the word I want. By imposter syndrome. I was just like, you got to be kidding me, dude. What are you doing? Who do you think you are? What is wrong with you? You think this is for you? And it was just like, show up. You want to end imposter syndrome? Show up. Do what you say you're going to do. Don't back down. And even if it doesn't work, cross the finish line, because at least you will prove to yourself that you can do hard things. rings. So I have this tattoo on my knuckles. It says Unbroken. You can't read it entirely because I have my rings on. This tattoo says Unbroken. I am obviously very tattooed. Part of that was like, if I get tattooed, I can't be hired anywhere. And that's an actual thing. That was a cognizant decision. But I got this tattoo on my knuckles that says Unbroken. But there was a stipulation. I had to run the Denver Marathon. I did a half because I'm 6'4", 225, and I didn't really want to do a whole marathon. My body's not built for it. And so I was like, I'm going to run the half marathon. It was brutal. I hated every second of it. Literally, I do not like to run. I like to lift. I like to do Muay Thai. I like to wrestle. I like to do jujitsu. I'm a contact sport guy. I played football growing up. I played baseball growing up. I wrestled for 10 years. Let me punch you in the face. But you want to run a mile? I'm like, I really don't want to do that. And I hadn't run. So at this time, when I did this Denver Marathon, I was probably 35. Yes, 35. So I run the Denver Marathon, first marathon ever, 35 years old. I had not run since I was 18. Because I don't run. I just, why? That's kind of my thought on it. But I had wanted to get this new tattoo. It'd been a couple of years. I was like, I want to get Unbroken tattooed on my knuckles. It's part of the brand. It's part of who I am. It's really my life at this point. And so I was like, all right, you want to get this tattoo? Guess what you have to do? You have to run a marathon. This is what you have to do. Sign up in the highest altitude city in America, Mile High City. Maybe it's not the highest altitude city, but it's up there, right? It's Mile High City. And you're going to go run this half marathon. At mile 9 of this half marathon, my Achilles tendon on my right foot hurt in a way that I've never felt pain in my body outside of like breaking bones or literally tearing a ligament like I had done when I tore my MCL and my patella. And so I'm running this marathon. My ankle is on fire. My calf is burning. Every step hurts. And I remember there was a fight that I watched years ago. It was Israel Adesanya, and he was fighting Kelvin Gastelum. So I'm a huge martial arts fan. I love MMA. I love UFC. This was for the title. And at the time, Israel was the champion, this kid out of New Zealand, just amazing kickboxer, amazing fighter. And Gastelum is just this. He's this Mexican guy who's a monster. Like, he's got a chin for days. Like, Israel, these two are just beating the living hell out of each other. It's an amazing fight. And you have this moment as the fourth round ends, you can just see it's like whoever can tap into that deeper sense of self, whoever is the person in this moment who is going to refuse to lose is going to win. And as the fifth round began, Israel looked across the ring and you could see him mouth these words, "I'm willing to die in here." And as I'm running this marathon, that's the only thing I'm thinking. I didn't think I was going to die from running a marathon, but what I was thinking to myself was, well, one of two things are going to happen right now because I have like 3.5 miles left, which if you're 6'5", 225, that might as well be 20 miles. And I thought to myself, you know what? I've got 13.1 miles. I've got a few more miles to go. And the reality is I'm just telling myself one or two things is going to happen. One, I'm going to cross this finish line. I'm going to get that medal. I'm going to get the t-shirt and the hat and the sticker, or this Achilles is going to rupture. It's going to roll up my leg and I'm going to the hospital. But I'm not quitting. I'm not quitting. I refuse it. And so here's the thing I want you to think about, because this imposter syndrome shows up for you in so many different ways: physical, mental, emotional, physical, financial, whatever way that is, in these business capacities. And you're like, man, I want to be successful, but I'm stopping myself. Well, the question becomes, well, are you going to cross the damn finish line or not? Are you going to cross the finish line or not? You want to end imposter syndrome forever? Make a decision, make a plan, cross the finish line. Period. That's how you do this. So I'm running this marathon. In the back of my head, the only thing I'm thinking is I'm willing to die here. The only thing I'm thinking is if this Achilles ruptures, I'm going to the hospital or I'm crossing this finish line. There is no option C. And that's business. You want to become the person you're capable of being when you say, I'm going to get up and I'm going to make the post. When you say that I'm going to write the blog. When you say I'm going to do the sales call. When you say that I'm going to be on the podcast. When you say that I'm going to do whatever the thing is, you have to earn your own respect. And until you do that, imposter syndrome will never go away. Now, it doesn't mean the thing that you're going to do is going to succeed, because the struggle is guaranteed. The success is not. I'm sorry, I hate to break it to you. That's the way the world works. But what I do know is if you cross the finish line, you will be proud of yourself. You will understand that you are capable of doing hard things, and thus you will be able to continuously do more hard things. People ask me all the time, how did you write your first book? And I'm like, I sat down for 2 years for 4 hours a day, every single day, no matter what, and I wrote. How'd you do the podcast? I sat down every day for years and I did a podcast. How'd you build a coaching business? I sat down every year for a decade and built a coaching business. How'd I build a multiple 7-figure online company? I sat down every single day and I built a multiple 7-figure online company. That's how this works. And at the beginning of every one of those things that I just said, I had imposter syndrome. I have it right now. I will have it tomorrow. I have it about being a boyfriend or a fiance or a husband or a father or an uncle or a grandpa or a brother. I have it about being a friend. I have it about being an employer. I have it about being a person in the world who takes care of other people. I have it about writing the next book. I have it about everything. But that doesn't mean you don't do it. Most people use imposter syndrome as the excuse. It's not for me. You were not born with any innate skills that make you have the ability to execute at a high level your dreams. Generally speaking, you're not. Everything has to be honed. Everything has to be crafted. Everything has to be curated and followed through and executed against flawlessly time and time and time again. And you want to have success, but you're not willing to fail. No wonder you feel like an imposter. You want success, but you're not willing to do what successful people do. Of course you are an imposter, because successful people have paved the path. All we've ever done is shown you, hey, this is the thing that you do. Go work really hard. Go find product market fit. Advertise, market, promote, tell people, do what is required and see what happens. And so my challenge to you, if you're stuck in imposter syndrome and you're like, I don't know what I'm doing, and business is hard and I'm scared, you should come to our event. You should 100% come to our event in Dallas. Go to live.unbrokenbsg.com and sign up, because this event will change your life forever. And the reason why is because there's going to be $100 million worth of revenue on that stage of people who have done the thing you're trying to do. So that said, my friend, you got this, but only if you do the work and only if you show up. So thank you for listening. I appreciate you. Check me out on social. Check out the business. Go to unbrokenbsg.com for all the details about what we do. Take care of yourselves. Take care of each other. Till next time, be unbroken. I'll see ya.